Hi, Kerry Molina here at Yellow Brick Road Studio. Here is a studio shot. I did a class recently, so some remnants of that are still on the table. But all in all, looking pretty good. Not as bad as sometimes. Although I will say that my desk is always in some sort of disarray, as most artists could probably attest to. And that is because we always have a lot of things going on at once. And I thought I would just pop in and admit that, because look at my desk. Oof. But mostly because I wanted to share with you what I'm working on right now. This is a large piece of watercolor paper that I'll tilt this up a little bit, that I doodled with watercolors in red and green in an effort to do some quote-unquote Christmas doodling, because I am about to cut this sucker up, as you're going to see in a minute. So the idea here is to make some handmade Christmas gift tags. Again, this is just a piece of watercolor paper, easy to find in a craft store, in the section with all the pads. And this was done with my favorite and quick set of watercolor paints. I like these that are in a tray when I'm just trying to do something quick. And these are the ones. They are actually called Yarka, I want to say. Is this the thing? Yeah, Yarka. And they are my favorites. 12 semi-moist watercolors. And this is what I like to use when I'm not wanting to go to the effort of using my tube watercolor paints. Anyway, I used this, and because I really did want to just make this project very simple, because it's going to be for an article about how anybody could make their own Christmas gift tags. And I just went in with greens and reds. Actually, 3 colors only I used. I used the red here, which looks like an orange, but it comes out red. This one is what I thought I would be using, but that one comes out pink more. And then they have 2 greens that they offer. 2 different greens here. So anyway, again, in an effort to keep it simple, that's all I did. Now, afterwards, I might go in with some more doodling with my handy-dandy white pen that I use all the time, which is my Uniball Signo. I'm trying to get this so you can see it. My Uniball Signo is my go-to white pen that I use all the time on dark surfaces. So that will probably get used afterwards. And I'm not sure what else I'm going to do. I think I mentioned in my piece that you could go in with some glitter or whatever you wanted. So we'll see how I feel when I'm working on the tags. But I wanted to show you that all you have to do is, these are your basic mailing, well, not mailing, I don't know, shipping tags that used to use this back in the day. And you can still get them in the Staples type stores. Or now that tags are a big deal with art journaling, you can buy all kinds of tags in craft stores. I use these a lot in my art journaling, but these are quite large for what I'm after, because would you really, unless it was a large gift, I don't think you would want something this large. Although now that I say that out loud, perhaps there might be, with large gifts, perhaps there might be use for something that big. So maybe we'll make one that big or something. I'm not sure yet. I'm still kind of not convinced. But anyway, these are, here's the size of my hand. These are a little bit smaller. I'm going to say, let's see, did I leave my ruler out? Well, let's see. I'll give you some a little bit more exact so you know what's going on here. I'm going to say they're about 5 by 2.5 or so. And all you have to do, all I'm going to do is turn this guy over. So we're working with the blank side, and I'm simply going to trace tags, the tag on there as many times as possible. What I might suggest is just getting your, lining it up on the left and then getting your ruler out and just measuring columns here, 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 you know, just going across, measuring the columns and cutting the columns out with, you can cut them by hand with scissors, or if you have a paper cutter. Not everybody just has a giant paper cutter lying around, but, and then you can easily make the little, you know, you could curve the edges or make little slants there. And we'll punch the holes later. So that's kind of where I'm headed with that. So let's catch back up with that. You can catch back up with me in a moment. Right, so I've just cut up that large doodle of red and green watercolor into 2.5-inch strips simply because I thought that the width would make a good size for a Christmas gift tag. And now I'm going to just wing it and decide how long I want the tags. This paper was, let's see, 11. This paper was 11 by, I'll get to the other dimension in a second. So it's not going to be even, so maybe we do 4.5, 4.5. Well, I think you just decide how long you want your gift tags. Long ones are kind of weird, but I do want to keep them rectangular. So I'm going to go 4.5. I'm going to cut them at about 4.5. So let's do that. And I have cut all my tags 4.5 inches in length, and they're really cute so far, if I do say so myself. So here are the way they look at this point in time. So those are kind of fun. And then, of course, with your excess, you're going to end up with some little guys as well, because of the length that I wanted my other tags. I ended up with some little guys, and some of them are ugly, but some of them could be used as gift tags for little tiny gifts. Because, you know, when you wrap a little tiny gift, a little piece of jewelry or something, you do want a smaller tag. So that's where I am so far. And my next step will be to further embellish, as I mentioned before, probably with my white pen. We also need to punch a hole and put the ribbon through the hole so that it finishes off the look. And for me personally, I think I will probably corner round these or cut the little top, you know, diagonals off, just like the shipping tags look. But I'm not sure yet. I think I always do kind of lean towards corner round. So let me work on that step. This is my little corner rounder that I like. I just got it at Hobby Lobby. Just sits on my desk at all times. I have some other ones to use for classes and things, but this one is just from Paper Studio. And when the Paper Studio is on sale for 50% off at Hobby Lobby, it's a great thing to pick up. And you can see I've already done a few here. The ones that came out, I think, the best. Here's another one, and then you just simply line it up and press. And for me, it just gives it a much more professional feel. And then, of course, there are the little guys. See, like, I don't love that one. I don't love that one. That's muddy. These three could probably be cute. be curious how you guys do your tags. I like the ones that are self-adhesive. I just use those a lot. But I have all kinds of tags. I mean, I have more tags than could ever use in a lifetime. I just keep them in a big bag, and I probably just buy them every time they're on sale. But and then you just clean up these little corners, and then of course you're going to want the hole for the ribbon. I was just talking about the tags. So do you tape? Do you tape paper ones on so people have to turn it over and look at the back, or do you use self-adhesive, or do you use a mixture of both like me? So I just wanted to show you that I have a single punch, a single hole punch. Let's see how far down. See, now this guy, I like to turn him over because, well, let's see. Let's do one that I don't love first. Let's see if we like the hole placement. Actually, I do. So I'm okay with. I'm going to take a look at each one, and I'm going to do a punch in the top center. If you're on my list, maybe you'll get a gift with this, with one of these tags on it. You never know. So we have our tag set with our hole at the top. And then, of course, you could go in and do the same thing with the tiny guys. I wonder how many this would push through. I think I could do it. Actually, I'd like to decide where the hole goes. So this is supposedly a little tree, so. Now this, I do want to look at it because I don't want it down that far, do I? That's better. This is the first year my kids, you know what. And I better not talk about that. I was going to talk about how I distinguish gifts based on different wrapping paper, but I don't have to do that anymore, if you get my drift. And this year I can mix and match and do nice tags. Okay, so the mechanics is done except for adding a ribbon. All right, and so now it's just a matter of going in and embellishing these a little bit further, as I had mentioned. Let's make sure you can see what is going on here. That would be helpful, wouldn't it? And by that I just mean, sometimes just adding some little extras here and there. Give it an extra little pop. You could outline things. You could draw little spirals. See how this pen works so nicely? What if these were little gifts? Or give the hint of little presents. Or look like little windows now. You know what you could do with that? You could go in with a little bit of a red pen or marker. And you could always have a little piece of scrap paper sitting around so you can try things. Make sure this pen is ready for action. And maybe make some little bows up here. you know, just little doodads, just whatever. Little hearts. Also, little dots. None of my work is safe from me and my little dots. I also like little stitching lines that make it look like it was stitched. Things like that. So you're just kind of going in and adding even more details. So I'm not going to... Very satisfying to work on them. Look what I just did. No. No. You get the idea. So just play with those. You know what else would look really good actually is silver. The Stabilo all. This one is sorry, that's I'm talking about something else. Those are nice too. This is Uniball Gel Impact. Let's try that on our scrap sheet. Yeah, those would be, that might be pretty on some of these since silver would look nice. Maybe we do something with the tree. Maybe the tree is the star of that show. You can also add little words like joy and of course you've got your age-old thin Sharpie. I call them thin Sharpies. Of course they are my ultra fine point. There we go. Ultra fine. I don't know why, but I always think things look better with dots. I think it's just the texture it gives the background of stuff. Anyway, just have fun with it. You get the idea. You could go absolutely crazy with all your different ideas and different materials to use. You could go back in with more paint. You could use some stickers. You could use colored pencils. That's going to give you another whole dimension. That did absolutely nothing. Have to be on a darker surface. Yep, pretty much didn't do much there. Any colors of pencils, markers, and I had mentioned earlier glitter. You know, you could do a simple glue line around with glitter. You could do some rubber stamping as well. I would have to get out my Christmas stamps since I have those put in a separate spot. Of course, you could always do stamping with stamping words, you know, like this is sort of my go-to, these are my go-to letter stamps. So just doing the words joy or love or merry or things like that would be cute. So I'm going to work on those a little bit longer, and then we can catch back up and do the ribbons. So I did some doodling with my gel pens that I was telling you about, and with some Sharpies and some metallic pens. You know, I really wanted to share with you, I had a lot of luck with, which one was it? I'm actually loving the Crayolas. Where is that one? Darn it. I feel like I was using a silver Crayola guy. Let's see. Maybe I wasn't using Crayola. But these silver metallic pens, I guess it was this one, Elmer's. An Elmer's Board Mate was a lot of fun. And did I use this one? Bic. Got a Bic Marking Fine Point Permanent Platinum Silver. Why do I feel like I was using, I know you probably think I'm so annoying right now. Here it is. This is, I knew I was using one. Okay, this is a Crayola Green Machine. Must have been in their metallics, but it's what I used for all the edging and some more of the decorating inside as well. And I was really loving it, so I wanted to share that with you. Finally, I found it, so now you know I wasn't losing it. All right. So we have our tags, we have our hole punched for the ribbon, we have our doodling. I mean, you could keep going and going and going with the doodling and the decorating, right? So I didn't end up, I decided not to do any glitter just to save time at this time. But, you know, next time I make tags, I might go in with some glitter, maybe even some embossing. Just depends on what you feel like doing at that time. Now, for the ribbon, I wanted you to know that you could just use curling ribbon. You know, Christmas ribbon curling, you go like with the scissors. How does that go? Makes it curly, and it's made out of like this cool paper stuff. So that's an option. I wanted to pull out some of my own stash here as far as ribbon to show you another option, which is ribbon, just regular pretty ribbon. I like ribbon that is this like transparent ribbon. And I feel like that would be really pretty, like maybe on, now I didn't use black on these. I can't believe it, because I always use black. I'm always using Sharpie, but this one did have a little black dot action in there. So you probably just need about, depends. I mean, you could, again, you can do as much as you want. You could tie and make a big bow on there. But I just like a plain old pull through kind of action. I like to cut my ends at a slant there, and I just fold over. In this case, the holes are small. Am I even showing you? Oh my gosh, you guys! Am I even showing you this? The holes are quite small, so I'm going to fold this in half again. And you could push this through the front or push this through the back. It doesn't really matter either way, but you do end up with a different look each way you do it, but it doesn't matter to me. I'm going to go in, I'm going to open the loop in the back, pass these tail ends through and pull. Straighten this out as I go. And you have to be careful. You don't want to pull too hard, because then you will rip this. I like to just pull one at a time, and that does give you a little bit more of a tight feel there. Just be careful. And that's pretty much it. I mean, you could just leave it at that. And I like that a lot. And then you could just tape, just tape this onto a gift, and on the back write your message, to, from, and you have a pretty tag. So that's one. I did find some dark green, kind of an emerald here, and that just depends on what you want to pull out. This one has some, but the dots aren't necessarily what I want to pull out. This one might be pretty with that. Let's since it's got that one sort of stitching kind of action there. So let's try one where we tie a bow, in which case I would be using a longer piece of ribbon, and I would still do what we just did, which is fold it in half, squeeze fold the top, go in through the hole, make a loop, put the tail ends through and pull, hold it down and pull one at a time for tightness, and then see if you have enough to make a bow. Try to find the pretty plate. This is more matte and this side is more shiny. Make little teeny tiny rabbit ears to start with, and then you have more room to pull them bigger afterwards. And you could make little bows or something a little special. So that's an idea. And then you could always just trim these so they look a little more even. And that's kind of a cute look as well. What else did I pull out? Bring these back in, little guys. I pulled out this one. This is a Melissa Francis ribbon, which I love. Very, very pretty. And this really goes well with that green Crayola metallic that I had used on the edging there. So I like that one a lot with these. Maybe we'll do it on this guy. And they're each a little bit different. They each have their own little personality. And if you don't have a ribbon stash, no worries. You can, of course, I'm going to go through the back this time. You can, of course, use, like I said, the curling ribbon that almost everybody has in their home for gift wrapping. And I'll show you what it looks like when you went through the back. It just gives you the look on the front is a little bit different. And again, you can pull one at a time. Is my little trick for tightness. So that's really pretty. That really pulls the outline there out. Really matches perfectly. Who knew? I pulled out, what else did I pull out? This is a big ol' packet from Close to the Heart. Close to the Heart, that gives you several different white fibers. So that could be fun to use. This one's pretty. This one looks sort of like feathers. Feathery. Let's try that. Cut yourself a piece of that. Okay. This time I wonder what would happen if you doubled it twice. Could be kind of pretty. I don't know what your loops would be though. Oh yeah, just double looped there. And go through like we have been. See what happens. Oh, it's cute. It almost has a pipe cleaner kind of look to it. Pipe cleaner-ish. And then I would trim, well, I kind of like it uneven. Oh, I know. There's loops, so I'm going to trim those open. And trim this guy just a tad there. That is so cute. Do you love that as much as I do? That's super cute with the fuzziness. So you kind of get the gist here. You can just do, this is just a simple Recollections ribbon. Glitter tape, they're calling it. I wonder if it's sticky. Yeah, that's probably not what I want. I thought it was ribbon when I first pulled it out. Yeah, that's tape. This stuff is cool, actually. This would be great for embellishments. Let's try that. Cool stuff. You never know what you're going to pull out of your stash, huh? got to the place where I just really need to start using up my stash, like instead of hoarding it. You know, you start to build up a really cool collection of materials, and then you hesitate to use them. I don't know why I'm speaking in the third person, but you get my drift. Yeah, I have a lot of really, really fun things. I cut things out of magazines and books. I do all this fun stuff, and then I love it so much I'm afraid to use it because I'm like, but I want to save that, you know, but that's ridiculous. So if you see in this one, I did do some doodling with some metallic silver, and I wrote the word joy in metallic silver. So this will pull that out, which I think is kind of fun. I didn't love that little triangle coming out there, so I might just go in right there. Remember, you can always hide things. It's just metallic tape that I just found in my stash. So, why not? I told you I was talking all about how you could add so many different kinds of embellishments. So, there we go. Voila. But now it really needs a silver ribbon. So, I probably will wait to put the ribbon on that one because I feel like it needs a silver ribbon to tie all of this silver in together. And last but not least, we have these little guys left. And I think those would be good with the curling ribbon. I think I would like them better with curling ribbon. So you get the idea. I'm going to set these aside and go back to this one that needs a silver ribbon. This one with our fuzzy white. This one with our matching green toned ribbon. Our tie the bow at the top guy. And this transparent dotted one that I really like as well. So there are some do it in an hour or two handmade, watercolored, one-of-a-kind special gift tags that anybody could make. So give me a shout if you have any questions, or if you, even better, want to show me tags that you made this year for Christmas gifts. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you soon.